All right. So let's move over now and let's talk about how to run LSAs. So, like I already alluded to, it's my personal opinion it's best to hire someone. If you want to do this yourself, by all means, you can. It's just this is easy to find somebody off of Upwork to do this. You know, you pay them $50 per account, $100 per account. I don't know, something like that. And then after you go through this process with us, you'll understand how to review their work. It's much simpler than AdWords, trust me. So we've got this SOP for you that's done. You'll get access to it. Don't worry, it's going to be inside of school. I'm going to kind of pass this over to Francisco. We're just going to go through this together. Francisco, I've got our MCC account up over here too. I don't know if you have something that you want to look at and share as we go through it. I can just drive, or do you want to drive?
Uh, you can drive.
Okay.
So we can kind of go through like the beginning process actually in the LSA on the
Okay.
LSA side. So go back to MCC over there.
Yep.
So click on the drop down, the menu, top left, and then go to managed accounts. So my suggestion to all of you would be to set up a agency manager account. This will automatic. So when you set up an agency manager account in ads.google.com, it also automatically creates it, uh, basically a manager account for LSAs. And then from here, you see that plus icon. Click on that. Click single account creation. Bulk account creation doesn't work. I've tried that, so this is the only way for it to work. You have two options here. I imagine a lot of you will be working with clients who might already have a Google Ads account. So there's two options here. You can connect it to an existing Google Ads account. That way you don't have to worry about setting up billing at all. It will automatically get connected when you associate it. But for this example, we can go with for a new advertiser. And this is simply just filling out all the business information. It's really straightforward. Um, put in your business name, phone number, website. You can invite users to it. Put in your zip code. You select your categories, and then it will take you to the verification page. Um, yep, that's all good. It might make you put a zip code in. Slap it one more time. And I'll say this, the LSA platform is incredibly buggy. Sometimes when you do this, it might create 6 accounts.
Yeah. So
Um,
question for you on this, Francisco. Let's say you're working with an HVAC contractor, right? That like probably has very limited knowledge, understanding, expertise of any of this. Is this something that you do for the client, or do you have them
yes.
do this and then share access? Okay.
Yeah, this is something I would set up for a client just because of weird issues like this where it failed to create the account. Um, a client will get frustrated. So, and they're not going to be, I've worked with a lot of HVAC contractors. There's so many who say they're not tech people and then proceed to struggle to even sign into their account. So almost always I will just request all the information. Um, yeah, this will probably be buggy. This system is always weird.
Yeah, failed to create. I
Yeah,
mean,
we can
I
just go
think that's
through.
okay. I don't like. There's plenty of information on the internet how to create these accounts. Anyways, it's also inside of this SOP.
Yes.
So okay, so let's just kind of go through the setup process. So that's step one is setting up the account. Right now, this is something that's pretty new, right, Francisco? So now LSAs are tied to a Google Business profile. Right before it was a separate account, right?
Yes. So there used to be LSA accounts could have their own reviews, and a really good cheat code that a lot of people would use is they would just purchase reviews and they would just blow up their LSA account in a hurry. But now the only way to connect reviews is through a Google Business profile.
Mhm.
And now you have the ability to connect it yourself versus working through support and then getting it connected that way. So this is pretty easy. Almost all of your guys' clients will most likely have a, Google Business profile set up if they're a decent sized business. It's just a matter, you just need to have admin access to both their Google Business profile and then their LSA account, and it'll automatically connect.
Okay, perfect. And just FYI, we're going to be sharing all this stuff. All this stuff is already going to be inside of school, the SOP, the deck, and also the presentation that I'm giving. So don't worry, you have access to all this stuff. So this is where it can get a little bit hairy, right, Francisco? So, for example, with our legal clients, um, they have to share. What do they have to share to get verified? They have to share like a business license or something.
So they need their bar number for the state they want to advertise in. They need to provide an email, and they need to do a third party verification through Evident ID. Um, and that's it. And they also need to include their middle name for some reason for the verification as well. So that's specifically for lawyers. For a lot of other industries like HVAC, plumbing, roofing, water damage restoration, and things of that nature, you're going to need proof of insurance and then some kind of business documentation proving that you're in a company. And then maybe a contractor's license, depending on the industry. So you'll need to get all those documents and submit that for approval.
In this Google screened here, right? That how do they get access to the Google screened? Or is
This
that
is
just
it.
going through this process?
Getting
Okay.
verified through LSAs means you're getting Google
Okay.
screened or Google verified.
So, because that used to be different, right? Google verified, is that different?
The phrasing changes from industry to industry. So like I would say HVAC is, or roofing is another example where it might say something else. Google
Google.
guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. If you're getting verified through LSAs, you're getting Google screened, Google guaranteed. The
Okay.
verbiage is different industry to industry.
Okay. Did that change? Didn't there used to be a different
You
verification?
could, so you used to be able to start an LSA account and not be verified. Um, So you used to be able to sign up for it and not get Google guaranteed, and then you
Yeah.
just show up the bottom. That's not an option anymore. So
Yeah.
that
We can
was a
see that
few years
all.
ago when that option was
Yeah.
still available.
All of these have that check, right? So if any of your clients ask us, like, why guys, like this
Yeah.
process of setting up the LSA account will make them to be verified. Um, okay. So now let's go back over here because that once we get the profile set up again, it's not that it's hard to do. It's more of just a pain in the ass to do, right? Like you guys
Yes.
can probably figure out how to do this on your own. It's pretty straightforward. Okay. So after we have the account set up, Francisco, verified, ready to run ads, what do we do next?
Once everything's verified and ready to set up ads, I mean, if you have an example account you want to go hop into under live accounts, see, yeah, it's just a terribly buggy platform. So this is going to be a routine problem. And this is why you need to hire somebody to do this. Otherwise, you're going to be spending a lot of time working in a buggy interface, a lot of time on support phone calls if you get a verification rejection for some reason, or or you need to update, the website or something like that.
Okay.
All right, yeah, we're
Um,
gonna count. So you can go click on the menu, go to profile and budget.
okay. So once you're verified, right now, what's next?
So once you're verified, there's I mean, before you go live, the business verification is gonna make you set all this up. So all this information here, you've already been provided, and to go live, you need this information.
Yeah.
Um, I guess it's really dependent on, what's your client's weekly budget, what job types you want, and the ways that you can optimize this. I would say add as many photos as possible after this because a lot of people are too lazy. Team photos are always great. You'll see a
So
good click through.
So question on these photos, Francisco, right? So like this is the logo, right?
Mm,
A lot of the times with attorneys, you need an attorney picture, but like these photos here, like where do these show up? Because when I look at HVAC, right,
Click
like
on the profile.
they show up.
Yeah, they show up there. They spin around
Okay.
up there.
So
So
the first one that you put in shows up as the ad image, or is this
yes,
pulled from your Google Business profile?
it's pulling from those images.
Okay. So when you upload, right? So like this one, for example, is using their logo. Do you see any difference in using like a person? Because most attorneys, I think, use their personal image, right? Like when
Yeah.
I do you
My
see
suggestion
any?
would be to use a team image in front of like your truck or something like that. Something more personable when somebody actually clicks on your profile versus just seeing the front of an office building.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, keep putting faces and then your branding in front of those people.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Now again, this is for an injury account, right? So it's going to look different than if you are
Yes.
in HVAC or dentist or something like that, right? So talk to me about the bidding strategy here. What do you recommend?
So my default recommendation for all accounts is the automating bidding strategy for maximize leads. That is what works most often. The only time I switch the bidding strategy to manual and setting so click on the bidding strategy, we can show people this. Um, Only time that I switch to manual, click on that, is basically for some reason the maximize leads option is not working. This sometimes can basically kickstart accounts that for some reason are in decline or not spending for some reason. I go to manual bidding. I click on the specific category I want to bid for. I set it to custom, and I usually put it 2 to 3 times more than what we are previously spending. And that's when I sometimes see success with jump starting accounts. Setting manual bidding, that can work too for a lot of accounts, but I don't see the reason to, just because the costs often end up being similar and they act the same.
Hey, Ryan here. Hope you liked that video. If you want more, check out these 2 videos right here on this screen.